Well, this is a business that manufactures specialist parts for fire sprinkler systems, air compressors, pump test equipment, other types of test equipment. The business itself has been around for getting on for 30 years. I've been involved with it for 4 years, and it's probably the most interesting thing that I've worked in. Well, it's true, I am an accountant by trade, but what I always said is that anybody who says accounting is interesting is lying. The thing about accounting is it's what it enables you to do afterwards that's interesting. Yeah, very much so. It's something I've been thinking about for a few years actually. With my previous consulting business I thought about it, but we didn't quite get there. And then building this business we didn't really have the money to do it. But a number of reasons we've managed to grow the business, and we need to drive to grow it even more. So yes, a bit of sponsorship, a bit of advertising, and of course the giants themselves getting better and better, and hopefully that will work for both of us. Yeah, it was a strange thing really, because my wife's mother got given some free tickets. She used to work in a shop. This was in the mid-1990s, and she offered them to us, and our initial view was it's probably not going to be that interesting, but we'll go. We went to a basketball game, we went to an ice hockey game. The ice hockey we weren't particularly interested in, it was too fast to see what was happening. But the basketball we were instantly hooked. And I think the year after we first started going, we got season tickets for the old giants. Followed them for a few years, and everything good happened in 2000. We won the Northern League, we won the playoffs, we got into both of the cup finals. We were there in London with our daughter, who at that age was 3-4 months old. She spent all the game asleep, but we won the game, it was brilliant. The day after we won the playoffs in London, the backers pulled out, and the year after that Giants folded. So as soon as we found out that they'd come back a few years ago, we were back following them. So yeah, it's really good, really exciting for Manchester sport. We came to all of the pre-season friendlies when we saw a few wins. We were at the Cheshire Cup victory last week, which I have to say towards the end of that game was probably one of the best experiences, one of the highlights of following the Giants. When we all started singing the Cheshire tune back to them because we were going to win. That was brilliant, and to be in the Cup semi-final now against Glasgow is really something to look forward to. Well, what we found is, I think some people may have the opinion that somebody goes to one end, scores a basket, somebody goes to the other end, scores a basket, and nothing really happens. What we always found and find now is that there's a lot of action. It's not as simple as just scoring baskets at each end. There's a lot of strategy and tactics, and unlike something like football, it's a lot cheaper to follow. It's a great game for families, it's really inexpensive, and there's always something happening. And once you get to understand the game a bit more, which doesn't take that long, then it's really exciting night out. Well, we can hope for some silverware. I think our initial hopes were, if we made it to the top 8 and made it to the playoffs and maybe the second round of the playoffs, That would be a big improvement on the past few years. The problem now is getting excited about getting into the Cup semi-final, but there's a fair chance I think we can get to the final, and then the expectations start rising. But I think we've a lot more to look forward to this season.